field advantage, at least in the regular season, doesn't really exist as much as we would think it would.
Okay. We'll have to see how striking the numbers are.
So in 2024, this past regular season, just take a guess on the percentage of times the home teams won games over the course of the 272 games that are played in the regular season.
57%.
Gunner?
I was going to go 61.
All right. 53%.
Huh.
So barely more than half of the time teams won their home games last year. As Greg points out, that's a 9-8 record, which would not have been good enough to make the playoffs for multiple divisions and wild cards and all that kind of stuff. So based off of this percentage, if you played every game at home, you still wouldn't have made the playoffs. Now, again, there's context to everything. Like a team winning 2 games in a regular season, that means they probably lost a lot of them at home.
Right. And let's say those 2 games just happen to be road games.
Right. But teams win 14 games and they lose 2. Those 2 losses could have been at home, right? Like it could end up evening out. This is the 4th time in the last 6 years where the home team has won 53% of the time or less. So 4 in the last 6 years. In the previous 50 seasons, it had only happened 4 times. So 4 in the last 6, and the previous 50 years, it had only happened 4 times. So, you know, I'm thinking maybe somebody's driving right now. Well, there's always bad teams. There's always good teams. In 50 years, only 4 times, 53% or less times, the teams at home weren't winning. 4 in the last 6.
Yeah, so it's a newer trend that's not typical of when we look at the bigger sample size. So what do you think's contributing to that?
So he does it. This is why I love this story. There's actual journalism that's being done here. Obviously, first off, the playoffs, non-factor. Or home game, or it is a factor, home field advantage.
Yeah.
Last year, the home teams went 10-2, which is 83%. It's the highest rate in 50 years. It's now been 3 straight seasons where it's been 75% of the time the home team wins. So it does matter in the playoffs.
Also, remember, home team in the playoffs, inherently the better football team.
Correct.
The home team in the regular season isn't always the better team.
Correct. That's true. Reasons. Salary cap and the parity of the league. You could be a 4th place team one year and then maybe not 1st place the next year, but 2nd place because of the way the salary cap works, the way that the draft works, all that kind of stuff. Free agency, it's so much different than it was in the pre-salary cap era of the NFL. So maybe the parity is a big reason why a team that is 4-10 is still a pretty good football team.
Right.
Because they might not be that far off from the team that's 7-7.
Yeah, I mean, it
Right?
makes sense.
Parity.
Yes.
The other one. Now, this is a very, very small percentage. Home games, in quotes, could be played outside of your home field because of the international game.
Yeah, but that's not enough to affect it.
Well, exactly, 7 games. But it ultimately would play a factor in the W and the L. Like if all 7 home teams lost the games internationally,
Yeah,
then that would add to the record.
It plays into it, but very minimally.
So those are the reasons. Now, he also points out that there are some teams that are much better at home than on the road. Like the Miami Dolphins since 2021 are 24-10 at home. But they're 13-21 on the road because they can't play in cold weather.
Which is just wild.
It is pretty funny because like Devontae Smith plays well in cold weather and he hates cold weather. The Cleveland Browns are the reverse. They're the same. 20-14 at home over the past 4 years, but 9-25 on the road.
Yeah, so just
like a really, really bad road team.
Get out there.
The Patriots, on the other hand, are the reverse, where they're actually better on the road than they are at home over the last couple of years. And then,
New
of
England,
course,
bad fan base.
Of course,
Trying to get away from them.
West Coast team traveling east, like that does play a factor, right?
Yeah.
If it's a 1:00 game and you're the Rams, because I think that's a case this year, right? Aren't the Eagles playing the Rams at 1:00 this year?
I think so.
So that means they're playing 10 a.m. the time that they are accustomed to. And that does play a factor in sports science, whether people want to believe it or not. It does play a factor. I mean, look, the records speak for themselves. So I just found it pretty interesting that over the last 6 seasons, home field advantage, like going, oh man, we're at home this week, doesn't really matter that much. Now, this is league wide. It's not specifically with the Eagles, not specifically with any team. It's league wide.
Yeah, I don't know. There's all these contributing factors and potential reasons. It's undeniable that it's different than what it had been in the past or more pronounced. But I, for the life of me, can't come up with a logical reason why it would be. It may just be a weird.
Well, some of it is the teams. But then, like Denver, the Broncos are 8 games above 500 over the last couple seasons. They play in the altitude. That may play a part of it.
Denver hasn't risen in the past 8 years or whatever,
Right.
6 years. I'm pretty sure it's been mile high for a while now.
Now, the beauty is, out of all of this, the Eagles are 24-10 at home over the past 4 seasons. They are also 24-10 on the road.
I love this football.
Identical record home and away. Doesn't matter where they're playing.
Screw your study.
And 14 games above 500.
Yeah, like we appreciate you doing the work to put that together, but it does not affect the Eagles.
It doesn't affect
nothing
the Eagles,
affects the Eagles.
and it doesn't affect the Chiefs, who are
using black magic to stay relevant.
27-7 at home, 25-9 on the road.
Yeah.
So if you're a good team, you're going to win regardless of where you're playing.
Exactly.
But again, that's why the parity comes into it. You might have 2 top teams, and you might have 2 like really, really bad football teams, but everybody else in that mix, there's parity. I just found that interesting that, we always talk about how the 3-point swing in the line, the betting lines, right? Oh, they're at home, so they get like an automatic 3 points.
Would you say the NFL is more top-heavy, bottom-heavy, or fat in the middle?
I think fat in the middle.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'd probably go with you there as well.
Even though the Chiefs have been to the Super Bowl and like dynasties happen.
Right, but that's just like a couple of teams.
But like that doesn't mean like the Bills are an amazing football team.
Bills, Steelers,
the Ravens are a really good football team. It's just the Chiefs always win the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But you could make the case that it's because it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and not necessarily the rest of the roster.
I feel like this is a pretty balanced spot for the league right now with just a couple of teams up at the top, and the Eagles happen to be one of those couple of teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right, coming up next, you can keep on sending your text messages. We'll get to them at 610-632-0975. But we'll reset today's topics. And in the 9 o'clock hour, the All-Star starters have been announced, Connor. I know you're thrilled about that.
How many Phillies?
We'll get into that. Also, you know what? I never texted Kevin Nagandi.
We'll find out coming up next if Kevin Nagandi's going to join us. It'll be a surprise for us and you.
Here's what we'll do. I'll text Kevin for like 9:10.
Okay.
So what I have planned for 9:10, I'll move up next. We'll have fun with this.
Okay.